Alright, so the new DLC releases in just a few days. So today's going to be a video on how much money you're going to need for DLC and how to make money the quickest before it does release. So in the trailer and also the artwork that Rockstar released for the update, Rockstar has showed a lot of new things that are coming into the DLC, including cars, the business itself, and a few other things. So let's first take a look at the business. So Rockstar does say they were going to be having a new property in the game, which of course is going to be the Bottom Dollar Bounties Bail Enforcement Agency. So for that, Rockstar most likely is going to be having multiple locations. It isn't confirmed, but from what we've seen in the DLC, we have at least one location, which is going to be across from the police station in Mission Row. And usually with most DLCs, Rockstar does have more than one location because of obvious reasons, such as just having one location can kind of not be interesting since everybody's going to be in the same place, as well as the fact that maybe location isn't, liked by many people. So Rockstar most likely will have different options, just like the salvage yard has. And price wise, I'm assuming since this DLC seems to be like on the same or close level to the salvage yard or chop shop DLC that released in December, the prices should be kind of similar. So when it comes to the salvage yard prices, the most expensive one was around $2.6 million, with the cheapest one being around $1.6 million. So I think Rockstar, if you do have multiple locations, is going to be around that same price. So on average, it should be around like $2 million for the business. And then when it comes to the customization upgrades, we most likely will be having things like accommodation, as well as maybe even like a garage that we have to pay for. There's a lot of things that Rockstar can include. So we're going to throw in probably like another $1.5 to $2 million. So in total, I would say for the new business, if Rockstar is continuing on the usual schedule, I would say at least have like $4 million if you want to purchase this fully upgraded, maybe a little bit more, because you never know when it comes to Rockstar. They always have something that they can make you pay for. We definitely got to probably pay for like staff as well when it comes to this, and we already seen that in the trailer. Now vehicle wise, of course, we're getting a handful of some new ones. So Rockstar has already said that we're getting new police vehicles, and we've seen them in the trailer. Now I'm not gonna lie, obviously some of them are vehicles that are already in the game, such as the Impala, as well as the Greenwood and the Bravado Dorado. Rockstar is basically adding a livery to them and most likely going to be reselling them. Now some of these are probably kind of new vehicles, like possibly like the Greenwood, for example, could be like from the year 1970, and now Rockstar is basically selling the 75 model, and of course it has a few changes. So overall, regardless, these cop cars are not going to be liveries that are just going to be handed to us. Rockstar is going to be selling them probably on Warstock Cash and Carry, and of course it's going to have an official police classification with it. So Rockstar most likely is going to be having a hefty price on these. If we look back at the Chop Shop DLC, Rockstar did obviously release a few of these, and we even have the most recent one, which is the Gauntlet Interceptor that released a few months ago. That was around $5 million. So if we have to give a price on these cop cars, first off, the ones that we have in game are around $4 million and up. So Rockstar most likely is going to keep with that same price tag and kind of keep it around there, maybe a little bit less, since these are going to be older compared to these, because these are of course more newer and updated models, but Rockstar is going to be having these kind of classic older ones. So just keep that in mind. Rockstar is probably going to put the price down just a bit, so maybe around like $3 to $4 million for each of them. And of course they're also going to have trade prices that you can get for each of them most likely, so it would be a little bit cheaper. So we know we're getting at least 3 new police vehicles in this update, so we're going to say there's going to be an average of $3.5 million for each of them. That includes the upgrades and modifications. So in total, have at least $10 million when it comes to getting all 3 of the police vehicles. Now we also know that we're getting a new Bentley in the game, which I'm going to put around $2.5 million, and also a new Benz. Now this one's a bit more on the classic side, so Rockstar could put the price down, but we're probably going to put it around like 1.9 million. So I'll say about 2 million to be safe. The Pipistrello is also a vehicle that we know is going to be free for GTA Plus players, but for other people, it's going to be pricey. So that's probably going to be around like 2.5, maybe even a little bit higher, since it's a bit more of a newer vehicle like that. So I'll probably put it at like 2.8. And then of course we also have the Envision 74, which is a vehicle that a lot of people are looking forward to. Is one of the newer ones, and this one is probably going to be in the higher, so I'll say at least 3 million for this one. So, and then we also know that we're getting an official bail enforcement bounty vehicle, which most likely could be included with the business, or it could be a vehicle that we have to purchase separately, which could be around about $1 million, maybe like 1.5. Rockstar most likely isn't going to make it that expensive since we need it for a business, so it possibly could be a little bit less, but we'll just have to see when the update releases. And then there's also this new Stormer vehicle, which seems to be making its way to the game. So a lot of futuristic, kind of like newer supercars for sure are coming to GTA Online. In total, I'll put an average of all these vehicles to be over $2 million, or at least $2 million, since that's kind of like the average that Rockstar has been doing for the least, the past few DLCs. So I don't really see Rockstar changing that anyway. And then of course we also have to throw in the fact Rockstar will be having most likely at least maybe one new weapon that we might have to buy. Sometimes Rockstar gives the weapons out for free in a way, or you have to do like a challenge to get it. But if Rockstar does have a new weapon, we'll probably price that around $500,000, nothing too wild. And then of course we also have the new clothing, as well as, you know, tattoos, hairstyles, and all that. If you're interested in getting those, that's probably going to be an extra $300,000. So in total, if you're interested in buying the new business fully upgraded, as well as all the new vehicles on day one, which most likely is going to be most of the vehicles that are shown off to us already, so that will be like the police vehicles for sure, and around 4 regular vehicles. And then also if you want to end up buying the customization as well for the businesses and also the vehicles, and if you want to buy, you know, some customization and miscellaneous stuff, in total you should have around $28 million if you want to get everything on day one. It could be a little bit less. It just really depends how Rockstar does stuff and, you know, which upgrades and stuff you get, but overall that should be the price on day one. And if you want to throw in the Drift Fed stuff, I was just probably throwing an extra $10 million, but regardless, Drift Fed is not really that important, since you'll be able to have time to make that money for specific vehicles or whatever else Rockstar releases for Drift Fed. So of course, when that, you know, comes out, we'll talk more about that after the DLC releases. But regardless, we have a lot of interesting stuff coming out. The best ways to make money for sure though before DLC releases is of course going to be Rico. I recommend just trying your best to do it with friends as well, since the cooldown is shorter, and if you just have the time, even do it solo, as well as also doing the chop shop robberies. That's another great way to make money. It may not seem like it pays that much, but once you do all 3 of them, at least for this week, it's going to eventually add up. By the way, I do recommend keeping the entire GTO, so really overall you can only make money with 2 vehicles this week, but it's still money to be made, as well as also going to your safes around the map too. That's another great way to add up most of your money. A lot of people just let the safes kind of build up, whether that be in the arcade, the agency, other places too. Just go to them, do that. Also any of your MC businesses too, if you have them fully stocked up, go ahead and sell them. Nightclub is another big thing too. That's just money that's just kind of sitting there. Go ahead, take the money from the safe, as well as also doing the sell if you have that ready. The contract is also good, even though the $2 million, you know, payout isn't still there. $1 million is not that bad for like maybe an hour of work. Check that out. And of course the Cluckenbell farm rate too, that's $500,000 for less than an hour of work, so keep that in mind. And then the biggest thing probably is going to be selling some of the older vehicles from previous DLCs. If you don't like them anymore, don't want them anymore, just sell them at the LS Customs, get money for that. So those are the best ways to make money for sure before this DLC releases. And of course about how much money you're going to need. So when Rockstar does of course release the DLC, I'll be sure to go over everything, so look for it on the channel. So if you aren't already, subscribe and put up post notifications. Don't forget to drop a like, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.